Hello everyone. Another update from me, just to sort of take into account what's been coming across my screen in the last few weeks. And this is the full version of the video if you've come from YouTube. Um, so I just wanted to quickly update on the situation with Richard D. Hall. He did send out an update to his subscribers, maybe you've already got it, on the 25th of April, and he talked about then how he was releasing the book as a free PDF, and he was reminding readers of some of the links that he's already put up, um, and he also reposted the video about the Boston unbombing, and he's also posted his book on Amazon and stuff. So there's various links there about the Manchester incident, and he was just reminding people that the hit pieces have been posted against him. Also, at that time, he had, I think, posted a link to this article by Ian Davis, who has also been on Richard's program to talk about this pseudo pandemic that we all know about. And Ian Davis has done a very long and detailed article covering lots of elements of this, and linking it to the online harms bill and so forth. So you can go and have a read of that if you want. I didn't read all of this, but I skimmed through it. So you can have a read of that if you wish, and share that if you wish. Richard then sent another update more recently, a few days ago, because I'm recording this, I think, on the around about the 14th of April, 14th of May rather, 2023, and so Richard also sent out this document this email a few days ago, and he's asking for people to contribute to his legal fund. He did that in the earlier email as well, actually. And he has now actually received a notification of a legal claim, but this isn't a criminal action or anything like that. This is actually a damages claim from uh, uh, Martin Hibbert and Eve Hibbert, and their claim is oriented around harassment and breaches of the UK GDPR, and it's just a bit of a nonsense, really. But the fact that the file is being claimed, Richard has been investigating what to do about that, and I think he's asked for an appeal. He's asked in his appeal about a solicitor or barrister to help him with this. But I think it's one of those things, I wondered about, well, this is a High Court action, not a civil court, so it's not like a county court case, and it's not a criminal matter or anything like that. So it looks like, really, to try and get to what I wanted to say, they're just trying to obviously drain him of funds and resources and limit his ability to do what he does without actually, being able to actually say he's committed a crime or anything. So I think it's more along those lines that they're trying to do things. That there isn't a crime that's being committed. They can't prosecute him with anything. And this idea of harassment is ridiculous, as is the idea that he's broken GDPR in this case in any particular way. Because I think any information he got, for example, would have come from 192.com or something like that. So you can read these. I'll leave these on the screen for a bit. I'll include some of these links somewhere, but if you want any of these links, go to richplanet.net to get them. And yeah, so there's his page there. He's got a legal help page there, and you can look at links there, and obviously the other links to his book and everything are on his website too, so go and look there. So that's that one. And then I just wanted to cover an email I'd received regarding the interview I did with Peter Stone, the Sovereign Project. This was all, I don't know, just after Christmas, I think. I forget the exact date. And somebody called Mark wrote to me and said, not Mark Windows, by the way, this email has been copied to Mark Windows, but it wasn't written by him. After watching the talk you had with Peter Stone, as in the subject line, I think you may have got caught up in something that leads nowhere, or worked at one time but doesn't anymore, or sometimes does, depending to make it look as though it could work for everything or always could. In other words, they've got it sewn up. I don't know if you've heard of Mark Windows, but I think the below link is a good introduction to his website, and after that his reaction in relation to the video did. I thought I would pass this on because I understand you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so he's saying that I'm not, and he's right, I don't really cover the common law stuff very much. So I did watch this video of Mark Windows. It's just a general introduction, I think, and a general spiel by Mark. I have met Mark a couple of times, and I've had my own experience with him, but he seems like a good guy. And I think he's from Leeds or something, so he's got to be a good guy if he comes from Leeds, hasn't he? Somewhere in North Yorkshire or something. And then he's written this article called Free Man versus Legal Fiction, Windows on the World. I haven't read all of this yet, but I'll include the links to this in there. You can have a quick look at that. And yeah, so you can read through all of that. And he's basically saying some things are true in the video by Pete Stone, but misleading. Um, so yeah, I can't believe people are still peddling this stuff in the video. That's what Mark Windows says. There seem to be new recruits to it all the time, despite it being completely useless in the present system. Here is an article which covers it. You may have already seen it. The sovereign citizens will say they are not free men on the land, but the cul-de-sac waiting for them is the same. And I had an experience of this a few years ago with this free man on the land, which was Victoria. I can't remember her second name now. I should, because I had a lot of correspondence with her over the years. But she did this free man on the land forum, and then we had the situation with all that movement, which sprung up about 8-9 years ago, something like that. And there was, I'm trying to remember his name, the guy that was the chauffeur, John Harris, and that got linked to with the British Constitution Group and all of that, and it did seem to go largely nowhere. But again, you can look into all of that. I'm sure you'll find stuff on the internet. So on the subject of emails I received this one yesterday, and it's a Flat Earth podcast interview request for Check the Evidence. And the email at the top says, OMG, you haven't even gotten past the guy on the bike nonsense video. You need to do a little research before you start challenging people to a debate. Instead of trying to debunk Flat Earth, try proving the globe. Now, this is a bit of mystery to me, so I scrolled down because I didn't write this email. And I think what's happened is, and why I wanted to highlight it in this video, is that somebody has filled in a form on this. You see, it says Flat Earth podcast. Let's see. This email was sent from a contact form on flatearthpodcast.com, right? So somebody has filled this in, and I don't know what I haven't clicked on this URL because I didn't create this. And then this message reads, Hello, Dave. I believe the flat earth is a nonsense, a psyop to fool truthers. Generally, I don't talk to flat earthers as they are stupid. I will have a debate with you and show how foolish you and your followers are. Check the evidence and you will realise we are on the spinning globe. All you need is 2 sticks and a bicycle to prove the globe. Don't back out now. So I didn't write this. I don't know who did write it, but they don't use my name, so we could, in theory, say they're not trying to impersonate me. Example, Andrew Johnson of checktheevidence.com, but it's pretty close. But I didn't write this. So it looks like somebody wants to rope me into this nonsense again. And this has happened. This is not the first time this has happened. And yes, I have said things similar to this. I have said it is a psyop because it is. Clearly, that's what it is. And it is designed to fool people. But the people who come up with this stuff, they are liars. They haven't done any observational astronomy. I don't say they are stupid. That's not a word I use. I also don't use regards. I tend to say best wishes at the end of my messages. So anyone who wants to impersonate me needs to study my correspondence a bit more. But they probably don't know this because they faked this. So this is another liar involved here, pretending to be me. And sending these messages out. There's 2 copies of this message. So this shows you how desperate they are with this, that they're willing to waste time doing this sort of thing. I haven't replied to this message because, frankly, I didn't send the original. So there you are. So I just thought I'd bring that up as well. So moving on to other things then. Now we're just going to talk about the royals for a bit. We've just had the coronation last weekend, I think it was, or the weekend before in the UK, with this strange fellow, King Charles. And so I posted this picture, which I had seen before, with Charles and Jimmy Savile, who's got a very close association. And there was another fellow. You see, there's a stick here on the right of the picture. There was another fellow here, and some other postings went around and claimed that this was guy who was involved in one of the shootings, but it wasn't. This is some lord of the land that in Scotland somewhere that was hearing this. But Savile was clearly, associated with Charles and the royal family, and this led me on to this video. Somebody posted this or sent it to me or something. The Mad Truther, blah blah blah, and then it's the Royal Rabbit Hole. You can find this video on BitChute. Now, this is a bit of a mixed bag. It's a 20-minute video. You can watch it if you want. I'll leave this link in the description. And it's okay. There are two large chunks of disinformation in this video. One is the bit with Arizona Wilder, which takes up the last 5 minutes, the David Icke stuff, which she came out and said was false. Jennifer, I think, was her real name, and Ivan, I think it was Ivan. I can't remember the guy's name, but you can look into all of this. In fact, I'll try and find the link if I can, that this was disinformation. So let's have a look for that. Yeah, so it's an article by Ivan Fraser. He goes through, and this is years old, 20 years old, this article just about, very nearly, about this Arizona Wilder disinformation. I think, what was her name? And it mentions Ivan Fraser, who warned David Icke that this was disinformation, yet he still gets included about this. Jennifer Keeley, I think, was her name. And there's some more links there about her. So that whole thing about watching the Queen drink blood, that's all disinformation. But there's some other compelling pictures in this video, the one here, so it's worth watching just to see those. There's a picture of Kevin Spacey with Ghislaine Maxwell. I hadn't seen that before. And there's a few others that whoever made this video, which is a lot of work gone into it, it's only 20 minutes, has dug up. So you can have a watch of that if you want. So now on to the other topic which I've kept an eye on, which is the fake alien invasion. This was posted on the 2nd of May. Alien contact is just a few years away. Here's when scientists say it will happen. And I haven't really read the article because what intrigued me was the picture that they've used, because we've got the flying saucer here going over New York from Independence Day. And of course, we see the Twin Towers here. Isn't that interesting? Because I made a video about this. It wasn't just me that was talking about the fake alien invasion, but I did the side-by-side comparison of the destruction of the World Trade Center and the Empire State Building from Independence Day. I'll try and get that picture up now. So I've got this video that I made a good few years ago, 10 years ago now, where I show the clip from the Disclosure Project press conference with Carol Rosin, and then I intersperse that with a clip of the film Independence Day, where they blow up the Empire State Building, and then of course we've got the World Trade Center being turned to dust only 5 years later. So it's easy to make the connection there. I hope you can read that article. I mean, I've made videos about this before multiple times, so I'm not telling you anything new. But then moving on to somebody who's talked about UFOs, and indeed he does that in an interview which I've got the link for here. Tucker Carlson, he was recently ousted by Fox because of apparently remarks he'd made about the drug companies, controlling the media and stuff, or backhanded remarks, slightly encoded remarks, but nevertheless remarks about the control by the drug industry of the media and stuff. And then he was booted out, I think, within a day, and some people quite surprised about that. And you can hear more of that story in this video here from the Jimmy Dore show. He goes into what Tucker actually said and plays some clips and stuff. And now it turns out that he's going to launch his show on Twitter. And people have wondered, is this all a set-up job so that Tucker can now become a mouthpiece to attract in the truthers, so to speak, and be controlled again? Because he's giving you the truth, but not the whole truth. or anything, and everything but and only the truth. He's doing the some truth, some half truth, and anything but the truth routine that I've talked about before, potentially. Um, but there is this interesting interview from earlier this year, I think from March this year, on Red Pill Patriots. He took his used some quite foul language in this, which is odd to hear him say that. But that's quite an interesting interview. He talks about UFOs and stuff, but again, he doesn't go the whole hog. So again, links to that will be available here. So finally, to finish off this video, I did do a presentation. Again, it's an old presentation. I did this in mid-April up in Billingham near Middlesbrough, that sort of way, north east of England. And you can watch this. Somebody kindly recorded it. The audio's not great, the visuals not great, but they're okay. The information's there, so I thank the person that did that. And so you can go and have a watch of that. Again, it's over 10 years old. It's about 13 years old, this presentation. I did do a couple of updates, so there are some things in there together which weren't in there before, but it's basically the same sort of story as I told 13 years ago, really. So that basically rounds it up for this video. Thank you very much for listening and for your support, and I wish you well.